Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to the 4th episode of your weekly Phantasy Star Online 2 podcast, recorded live on March 28th, 2020. I am one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me are Winsock and Zance. Say hello, everyone.
Yo!
Cheers.
So, another week down, and we've gone past the first maintenance in the North American Open Beta. So, how have your gaming weeks been, everyone?
Mine's been pretty good. I haven't been able to play much. I've been working and everything else with this new coronavirus issue going on. But this week I was able to actually get up to level 75, which is max on my Braver class. Now I'm switching over. I decided to switch over to Force/Techer. So I've got that going on now.
I take it that's going to be your mains going forward?
Yep, this will be my main. I already bought a secondary mag because when I was Braver, I had a dexterity mag. So I bought another mag for tech so I can get tech up, and I'm currently level 30 something on Force.
And I'm trying to get how Force plays. How does Force play for the most part? Because I've leveled at least to 35.
Well, okay, so the way Force plays work, how it plays out is you have your different masteries in your skill tree, and you kind of want to lean towards that mastery. But nonetheless, there is still certain elements that certain mob types are weak against, so it's always good to have a couple of skills from each different element on your sub palette or on your rod, and you just switch through your rod or your talus and just go through it that way to get to your different elements. Mainly, the main one is Lightning Mastery, and on the JP server, what everyone usually does is they just run Zondi. If they're doing a boss fight, Zondi, you're done. That's all you need is Zondi.
Just Zondi?
Yes. It just does that much damage when on solo target. Now, if you're doing multiple target, there's a couple of other AoE moves that you can do. A lot of people like using some of the Foy abilities or Barda. There's also a good Grant's ability that's like a giant lawnmower blade that goes in a circle, but that's like point blank AoE. There is one of the Foy spells, I can't remember the name of it, that does do a giant explosion that's an AoE.
I think that's giveaway.
I think it is giveaway, yeah. And that one does the giant explosion AoE, which is usually the one you want to do when you're doing like MPAs or AQs and the like, because a lot of people like doing the basic first 3 AQs, which is Forest, Desert, and what was the next one? Tundra. And in Forest and Tundra, everything's weak against fire for the most part. So using Gafoy is actually a good idea to do when you're doing the AQs, when you're just grouping them up trying to get those PSE bursts running.
And when you say that it is an explosion, is that the one where it swirls around, or are you talking about just a direct explosion?
I believe it's a direct explosion. That's just a giant explosion that hits at your target, just a couple around it.
Yeah, I think that's actually Rothroy.
Rothroy? Yeah.
Rothroy, okay.
Yeah, because there is one that goes around you that swirls around. And that's what I call a point blank AoE, which it's on you, where the other one is more of a ranged AoE to where you can be away from your target, cast it, and hit multiple mobs.
Yep, and to your point about Zonde, I remember on the Force tree, there's also an ability that reduces how much those techs cost as well. It's that in
yes.
Yes, and also with Techer, which is why Faux Techer is really good. I believe Techer has PP Restorate.
Yes, so it has PP Restorate and HP PP conversion. So what that does is it sacrifices 10% of your HP and gives you a crazy photon power regeneration for a limited number of time. And I think it's only for 10, 15, no, 20 seconds, I believe. And it's just, you sit there and you can just spam your abilities while this is going on. That's usually one of those abilities you want to use for like a very heavily densed area, like if you have a bunch of mobs that you have to kill, or if you're on a boss, if you're spamming abilities. But you are right, there is with Fote there is PP conversion, PP or HP PP conversion, then PP restorate. Then on your masteries you have 5 skill points you can put into each mastery that reduces the cost of those techs. And you know, not until you get into the, you know, the type zeros and everything else, and compound PAs, that's when you really see a lot more of force blossoming after, I want to say. But due to now, even still, like right now, it's still pretty good to do with within this what we have released in content wise.
Yeah, and I've noticed that with Force Techer, they basically never run out of photon points ever. No. If you're playing it well.
If you're playing it well and you're playing it right. And I'll say this. You'll get to a point where you'll like, when you're first starting out, like if you're leveling it up from scratch, you're like, I'm always running out of photon power. You're spamming your ability too quick, because it hits harder than some people do in a full PA ability. So what you have to do is you have to be conservative with your photon power.
You also need to charge it.
Yes, charge it. Always charge it. Because in the future, if Phantom gets released, I'm going to go force Phantom. Because on Phantom, you get that split-second charge for your charge attack. It's like that quick. You're fully charged and you're letting it fly. Whereas
it's reduced damage, but Phantom's still really good.
Yeah, you attack a lot faster. You're not waiting like that full 2 seconds for it to fully charge before you let go. Now it's just instant. And if you have your photon blast going on, you would rather it be instant, because you could just sit there and just spam it, and your photon power will still just keep filling up, so you don't have to worry about anything, and you just sit there and spam it. That's why it's so good.
I was actually watching a DM Custom play Phantom, and yeah, it was just constant casting.
Now, I do recommend that if you're going to go to Force and Techer build, get your Force, get your Techer leveled up all the way, but make sure you have some other. I forgot what classes give what stats. I need to get that stat sheet pulled up. I don't know where I put it.
I believe Bouncer also gives Technic power,
so yeah, you want to get the ones that give you photon power and tech power leveled up first. So I'm going to be leveling up Force, Tech, I believe Summoner and Bouncer fall in line with all of that. So I'm going to need to get those 4 classes maxed out for my Fote to do the most damage it can do, outside of weapons and units and everything. So that would be the route for those that are wanting to go Force and Techer. How's your week been going, Zance?
I have too many games to play. Way too many.
That's on you.
Yeah, I know. It is on me. Well, because I'm stuck at home for until the 6th, hopefully. My college wants to open back up on the 6th. So I'm stuck at home just playing games. And I've wanted to play other games, but I've just been sinking so much time to PSO2. I'm almost 75 on my main character.
Nice.
But I've been focusing on getting other characters leveled up. I did at least get one of my characters above 50, so that's 2 million Meseta every week. Good.
Yeah.
Just as the base.
But I still have 2 others I need to get up. What was that?
Just as the base, yeah. It's from the ARKS missions, and then of course if you keep collecting daily orders, then you got all of that waiting for you as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Specifically the ones that do the super hard exploration and you get 113,000 Meseta. Yeah, exactly. But other than that, I got Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon to play through. I got Final Fantasy Maxima. I got Final Fantasy 12. I got all these games on my Switch to play through. And Animal Crossing. Yet, I've already sunk over 100 hours on the North American version. And about 84 of that is on my main character. So, oh boy, this game's an addiction. I need help.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's the same for all of us.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I've been really enjoying Bouncer. Through leveling Hunter, I found enjoyment of using Sword Hunter. I do want to try out Partisan or Wirelance more, though. Wirelance is not that great from what I've heard, but Sword and Partisan have really good strengths to it. So I definitely want to try that out more. I'm going to be trying that out more on my other character that is focused on Hunter and Fighter instead of on my Dex character. Because instead of buying multiple mags on one character and then be able to play every class on one character, I'm spreading it out on multiple characters. So right now I spent the 500 AC I got through the doing the survey. I got a 4th character. So I have one character that's Dex, which is my main, another character that's melee, one that's Technic, and then one that's ranged. So I'm having each one focus on one specific thing so I can build their mag that specific way. And the extra 500 AC we're going to be getting with the Game Pass thing on the 31st, or after the 31st maintenance, probably going to put that into a 5th character. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'm probably level fighter, because why not? I don't know. Just another character, get it up to 50 plus. Hey, that's another 2 million Meseta each week. So 5 characters, do weeklies on all 5 of them. There we go, 10 million Meseta every week. Profits.
And plus you get all that extra bank space as well.
Oh yeah, especially that's 300 character storage extra. That's going to be useful. But yeah, that's how most of my week has been going. I haven't been playing on my PC much often, except for playing Final Fantasy 14. Speaking of which, my raid group is now on E7S. We've gotten to the tornado phase, so we're almost done with it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just been PSO2 and stuff on my Switch.
PC win.
PC win, exactly. I like playing this game on Xbox. Don't get me wrong. I much prefer playing on PC because I play with keyboard and mouse.
Same here.
Yeah. I got my keyboard and mouse hooked up to my Xbox, and I actually just hooked up a KBM switch to where I can just switch between PC and Xbox without having to undo the cables and redo the cables every time.
Yeah, I need that because I constantly keep switching it between the two, and it's annoying. And it's the same thing with my monitor. I hate that this monitor only has one HDMI slot. I need two. Expensive
right.
market in NA.
It's already like, what stands 20, like 5
2.1.
2.1. Okay, so it's gone down a little bit.
Yeah, Dance 20 has gone down, but it keeps fluctuating around 3 and 2 mil.
So you'll see this like in other MMOs where during the weekend the prices will go down, but during the beginning of the week they'll skyrocket because there's not that many people that are constantly on.
Yeah.
To handle the market. So you'll see it like at Friday afternoon, prices will go down.
Like
Monday morning,
but I'm
they'll
noticing
start to
right
go
now
back
because not that many people have a lot of Meseta, prices are generally low compared to JP right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because God, the prices in JP.
There's not enough people doing. There's still not enough people doing daily quests and the weekly quests and the weekly ARKS missions because people are complaining that, oh my gosh, I'm under 1 mil Meseta. It's like, you don't know how simple and easy it is to get above 1 million Meseta without even playing the market.
Yep.
Exactly.
Without even putting anything on the market. Like, I'm sitting at 9 mil and I've spent a lot, but I've been dealing with the market. Like, I've made about 5 million a day.
I'm sure on
since
I'm sure on other ships on JP, specifically like ship 4 instead of ship 2, the market's probably a lot better on ship 4. Because ship 2 is where all the Gaijins are.
Yeah, ship 4, I believe, is where most of the Japanese elite usually sit.
Yeah, So usually the markets are like better for the people that there's more people of.
Fairly reasonable.
When PC comes out, yep. I don't know when PC's coming out on NA. No one knows yet.
I mean, I would love to get off of this Xbox and go straight to PC.
Same.
Same here.
Like, but even
I am
that,
not
like,
a console
I'll
person.
be playing casually on my Xbox. I'll have it set up in my room, and it's like, okay, I want to finish some dailies on my other character. Let me log on and do that. But primarily playing on my PC. I much prefer that.
Yeah, faster load times and things like that.
Yeah, that as well. Oh my god, the load times on Xbox.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm enjoying the market on Ship 1. I don't know what it is on Ship 2, and I refuse to join Ship 2. But yeah, Ship 1 market has so far been pretty good.
All right.
Anyway,
What about you, Brightstar?
All right.
Yeah.
So this week has been productive for me once again. Winsock, you weren't here last week, but I kind of did a lot the prior week, and I've still been doing stuff. Although, granted, work has gotten in the way a little bit of some of that. But I have surpassed 250 titles now. So I got my Whittle Wing. I'm now currently at 265 titles, and I still have some AQs that I can clear out to get some more of those. Once I had accomplished that, my next goal was to start looking into what was going to be my unit set until we get 12-star units in the game, which was to get my Psyche set together. Because that gives you a bonus like 25 photon points, 60 attack points on everything, and then a bonus 80 dex when you have the full set. So I got that together. And then, on top of all that, I also have augmented my weapon and all of my units at this point. So my weapon has an extra 90 melee on it, and then each of my units has an extra 60 melee on them. So each of them is at a 4 slot. Didn't want to go any higher than that since I can't get any of the plus 40% augment enhancers at this point. So I just decided to keep it simple for now until the 12 stars come out, basically. But that's basically what my priority was this week. And from here, well, as of right now, I'm broke, so I need to get money again.
Also, where are you getting most of your units? The 11-star units?
Oh, I just bought them off the market. Got them for like 12 million each.
Yeesh.
Yeah, I know, it's still expensive, but you know what? I realized the quicker I got all this done, the quicker I wouldn't have to worry about any further purchases until, you know, the next tier came out, which, who knows, might be next week, could be a couple of months from now. Who knows?
We don't know. But I think most of the best units drop from the high extreme quests, right?
That as well as like Risk 50 Shacks or super hard advanced quests.
Oh yeah, I've been doing the Shacks as much as possible.
Yeah, so I heard a report for some people in here, and I never put too much attention in it, but apparently Super Hard AQ City is actually one of the better places to do your Super Hard AQs at.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know. I heard them talking about it in Block 1 on Ship 1. They were saying that City is a lot better than, I think City's a D capsule, so it's a lot better than Forest and Shafts as well. But they were saying that City was like the best one, and I haven't tested it. I don't think there's any difference in between it because it's still, you know, limited mob spawns. You're limited to the amount number of mobs that spawn, and I guess it would be more about how the circuit is inside the map, which I haven't done City at all.
I guess we could try that out later today after this podcast.
Yeah, we could try that. I want to do, like I said, I'm going to try to finish up my Force, so I'm going to go, when it gets to level 40, I'm going to swap over to it main class with Force and Techer, and then do some very hards to level everything up.
Yeah, and I would agree on that as well. The fact that there are so many flat surfaces in there means that a lot of your photon arcs are going to connect correctly, rather than like in the Forest where you got like these tiny little hills that you have to jump on that could interrupt the photon arc from working correctly. That plus, going into the city is also the only way to experience the true form of the Dark Ragna fight, where we'll actually hop onto the walls and start moving around up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Although the Chrome Dragon fight where he goes up on the ceiling is really interesting. It's just Chrome Dragon sucks.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a very interesting fight, and that's actually where the fight takes place at the end of episode 1 with Hadred as well. There's a prior fight to that one, but really that fight is the end of episode 1. There, you get the credits after that fight. So yeah, if you haven't started into it, that's basically where episode 1 ends. If anybody wasn't aware of that.
Also, slight tangent. I hate how Chrome Dragon doesn't have any drops past 11 stars. Like, I like that they're doing urgent quests, scheduled urgent quests on NA, but can we get away from the Chrome Dragon one? Because Chrome Dragon sucks.
Yeah, the lack of 16, 17 level Photon Arts is definitely hurting. I would say a lot of players at this point.
Well, we're only at level 10, and I think there's a level 11 on the market on the player shop right now for like 21 mil, unless someone bought that.
Huh. I wonder where that dropped.
Yeah. That we're wondering the same thing. We're like, I thought it was capped to level 10, and then it was like one of our buddies in our Discord was like, no, someone put a level 11 up there. I think it was Namajid.
Wow.
That got put
Also,
up there at level 11.
For Bouncer, I don't do Bouncer Braver. I do Bouncer Hunter. You get better striking out of Bouncer Hunter than you do Bouncer Braver.
One thing I can confirm for everybody, though, is that one of the collaboration bosses did actually make it into the game already, and that is Gal Griffin. I ran into him in the Nightfall province.
Yeah, PSO.
Yep.
That was an episode 2 boss, and I hated it whenever I would do Providence Tomorrow, I think it was called. It's the boss rush for episode 2.
Yeah.
The tornadoes.
It'll still never beat my Towards the Future.
Towards the Future is a classic.
That it is.
I love Towards the Future.
Every time you run it, you think you're gonna get the red ring. Nope.
And plus, that Towards the Future also had like some pretty unique stuff in there as well, such as the fact that you could actually turn into the dragon if you were like player number 3 or something like that.
Wait, turn into the dragon?
Yeah, you can actually control the dragon.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I don't remember
because
that.
I mainly only played it on the Dreamcast version.
And I was playing Blue Burst.
I think it was a Blue Burst or maybe a GameCube feature.
Probably GameCube.
Yeah, I played some on Xbox, but mainly it was mainly Blue Burst after that.
I think that was also where you could get your branch of Paku Paku as well.
Yes. Get your Paku Paku. Yeah.
Loser? I've noticed Angel pop up in some shacks.
Yeah, Falls Angel's in.
I haven't seen Loser yet.
Even Falls Drumble, or Falls Gemini, rather, as they're called.
Yeah.
In this version.
I haven't seen Loser or what's the other? Hunar. I haven't seen Loser Hunar pop up for me yet.
I haven't seen Hunar or Loser or Double, but I've seen Angel, Apprentice, and Persona numerous times.
But I've seen Angel and Double show up.
Yeah, Hunar's the only one I haven't seen outside the store yet.
Oh, you have seen Loser?
I saw Loser, I saw Apprentice, I saw Persona, and I saw Rumble or Gemini.
Okay. It's weird that they're calling it Gemini.
I completely agree.
Maybe they wanted us to go more towards the what's your sign? Gemini.
Alright.
Sagittarius.
So with that, let's go ahead and move into our topics at this point here. So currently there is a daily login campaign going on here, and with that I'm going to bring up...
It sucks.
We're just going to go ahead and bring this up here. So, So every ARKS needs a helping hand. For each day you log in between March 25th and the 2nd of April, 1 a.m. PDT, you will receive a half scape doll. These handy items can help operatives regain their footing when they are facing difficult odds on the battlefield. And so...
I usually never use these. I always put them in my storage and just completely forget about them.
I use them just to get rid of them. Because usually you got to time these. Oh, you're only supposed to use these for certain occasions. It's like, I died. Let's save them a moon. Click.
Mm-hmm.
It can be useful if you're like down on a boss and in an MPA and you know it's going to be going down like real quick and you don't think anybody's going to toss a moon before then.
Yeah. So true, so true.
And plus, if you're running something solo, like if you're running Extreme Quest, like I've been running solo.
Mm-hmm. It's extremely useful for Extreme Quest. But I will also say this for anyone who does buy AC: do not waste your AC on scape dolls. They're not worth it.
Yeah, do not.
Completely agree.
Do not buy scape dolls.
Use your AC on the scratch or for premium. Don't use them on scape dolls.
You could also use it for some of the premium shop stuff that's in there.
Yep.
There is an AC shop. Look in the AC shop. I don't know why I said premium, but look in the AC shop. You can get mag tickets, mag reset devices if you're one of the people that accidentally messed up their mag. You can also get extra storage space with that AC. There's premium storage.
And there's also Cosmo Atomizer, which is also extremely useless.
Yeah, do not get the Cosmo Atomizer. No.
Yeah, that and the scape dolls, ignore it. Ignore them. And the boosters, ignore them.
It's just like right now, like I've put money into the game this week. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I swiped, but
yep, and I watched you do the scratches.
I got some good things out of the scratches.
Yeah, you got the wild scarf.
Yeah, I got my wild scarf, my dance 20, my operating terminal. Got some good costumes. But got the wings. I ended up selling those for 1.5 mil.
Nice.
But anyways, yeah, like I looked at it and like I'm looking and I'm like, okay, I spent. So what I did is I bought the Regal memory pack because there was still some things in there that I wanted to get. I got the Sato mag, which is labeled as chat mag device for some reason. I got that and I got some posters and stuff to put in my personal quarters. But after like really looking at it, after I spent like what, $30 there and then $30 on AC itself just for pure scratch tickets. I'm like, that's all there is right now. There's like nothing in scratch that is worth it now that I ended up getting pretty much everything I wanted to get out of it. And I'm like, well, great. Now I don't have to waste money on the game, and you can, get all these items, most of these items, just by going to the player shops.
Yep.
The only ones you can't get are like the mag tickets. That was another thing I got. I got 2 different mags. I got a striking mag now and a technique mag now. So those are 300 AC each, or $3 a piece. So there is still stuff to buy on the AC shop. It's just there'll come a point where like you're with like me where you don't see the necessity to or the want to buy anymore because you pretty much got what you wanted out of it.
Mm-hmm. And I plan on JP for the longest time only getting the premium set, and that's it. I didn't get any inventory expansions. That was fun.
Yeah, when I was on Japanese server, I did at least increase my inventory space, my pack inventory space up to 150, but I never expanded like the character storage because it was just cheaper to create a new character instead.
True. And if I do play more on my other characters, I might increase their inventory, but probably won't, because I'm not going to be on them for the most part. I'm going to be on my main character more so. So I don't know.
All right. So aside from the login campaign, we also got an update regarding the Xbox Ultimate Game Pass here. So, greetings, ARKS. Our scheduled March 24th maintenance is now concluded. Thank you for your patience and support. Regarding the first bonus bundle for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members, if you have previously claimed or redeemed a code for the first bonus bundle through Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Perks, for which the distribution is currently suspended, you may now claim those rewards in-game via the Receive Campaign Rewards option of your Vita phone. You will have until the beginning of our next scheduled maintenance on March 31st to redeem your rewards. We deeply apologize for the inconvenience you might have experienced. However, to ensure a healthy in-game economy and that the game remains enjoyable to all players for years to come, we are effecting some changes to the rewards offered in this program moving forward. Presently, the first bonus bundle for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Perks will remain inactive. The service will resume on March 31st with a new set of rewards for players who were unable to receive items from the original offering. We have taken great consideration to ensure that these rewards are of great value to our users. Please see the table below for more information. And so what we have here, you still get the Xbox jackets, you still get the 2 emotes.
And the emotes.
You still get the Xbox wireless controller. But now what you get is you get 12 AC scratch tickets, 500 AC,
Again.
100 Star Gems, 30 days use of the personal quarters, 1 Mission Pass Gold ticket, a 50-slot character expansion, 100 grinders, 10 X cubes, and 10 photon spheres. Now, the big thing that everybody is making a fuss over is the fact that this no longer includes the 30 days of premium in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
So Zio in voice chat was ranting about that. He was really mad.
Yeah, because I thought we were under the impression that if you were getting the Game Pass, you were getting premium included. And the fact that they removed that and just did premium or personal quarters usage for 30 days, that's a slap in the face.
Mm-hmm.
True. But if you
Now, I do have to say, you're getting $17 worth of AC out of it, technically,
Yeah.
with the 12 AC scratch tickets and 500 AC. You're also getting 100 SG, which I believe is another
around $5, I think.
5. Yeah. So you're getting decent money value out of it for paying for Ultimate Pass.
And then the 50 slots of character expansion as well. That's another $8 there.
Yeah. I would have loved to see premium tied behind that.
But I'm guessing what they're doing is not including premium for this one and showing that hopefully it doesn't get abused again, like the previous one was.
Well, people are going to abuse it because the main thing, they didn't care for the premium. They cared for those scratch tickets that were in there.
No, it was the scratch tickets and the 1 million Meseta crystal.
Yeah.
They removed that from this as well.
I agree with getting rid of the flat 1 mil Meseta crystal. That was a good decision, I believe, because that's just instantaneous Meseta just for paying for a service that you're probably already paying for before this game even came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I don't know. Maybe they'll put it back in later rewards after they can prove that this isn't going to get abused again. Hopefully.
We'll have to see how they actually change things. If they're still going to go through the Xbox system, or if they're going to turn this into like an in-game item code, or actually link it to the account rather than even having to put in an item code in the first place.
Another thing that I read here, who were unable to receive the items from the original offering. Does that mean that the people who got the original offering aren't getting this?
I assume not, because I got a code last time, and when I tried to put it in, it said it looks like you've already registered this game, and I got nothing when I logged in the first time after the maintenance. Which means I missed out on the premium and the million Meseta.
Yeah, because I was able to claim it after they took it down and put it back up again before they took it down again. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this stuff again or not. I don't know.
No, it's going to be a new set. It says this service will resume on March 31st with a new set of rewards for players who unable to receive the items from the original offering.
Exactly.
So this is not going to be anything for, like, I've already claimed mine, so I'm not going to be able to get this. It's whoever was not able to claim theirs that they're getting a little bit extra SG and, you know, grinders, X cubes, and photon spheres and the expansion slots for your storage. So it's just a little bit of a compensation package while removing the main primary thing people wanted, which was the freaking premium time.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, once it's out, I'll mention if I am still able to get it or not. Like, I'll mention that in the next podcast as well.
Yep, and we're assuming that this is still just the first use of it. We still don't know what they're going to be doing post the first month here. So if it's going to be every single month you get all this, or if it's going to be like every single month you get something like maybe 100 grinders and something else like you get on the PlayStation 4 version. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be okay with like getting X cubes, photon spheres, and grinders with a gold ticket every month.
I don't know if they're going to have a new pass or a new mission pass every month or not, though. But if it
plus with those, like, it's only 10 X cubes and 10 photon spheres, which is nothing. You can easily make that in game like nothing. Especially X cubes. If you're doing shacks all the time, you got like thousands of photon boosters. Buy the 11-star weapons with those photon boosters. Convert them to X cubes. There you go. 20 X cubes for 1,000 photon boosters.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for the quest triggers to come out so I can start running solo PD over and over and over and just knock it out that way.
Yeah, and I want the quest triggers as well because I want to do some Alliance MPAs.
Yeah, it's weird that they took out those triggers from the Alliance shop. That's for certain.
Yeah. They'll probably bring him back soon.
All right. Well, I think why don't we go ahead and move on to our next topic? So, in the past, we've been speaking directly about the North American version and kind of relaying our experience from the Japanese version. But this is the first time we're actually going to be starting to address the Japanese version directly here. And so, with that, we're going to be heading over to bumped.org, who these guys do a great job of keeping up with all the updates that keep coming out for the Japanese version here. And this past week, the Japanese developers had what they call their PSO2 Station Plus. This was the 5th one that they've run, but there have been many iterations of this in the past here, so don't be confused by that. So with each one of these, towards the end of the show, they give you a secret phrase to say in the chat. These will include a Fast Burger accessory, Pusuni Comic Memory 2, and a White Day 2020 trigger. White Day is a holiday that's celebrated over in the East, and it's imagine if Valentine's Day was split into 2 holidays, one for women giving gifts to the men, and then men giving gifts to the women in the other holiday. That's basically what White Day is compared to Valentine's Day.
And for people who don't know, the Pusoni comic is a comic series parodying PSO2. Yep. It's about different characters playing PSO2. Hilarity ensues.
Yep.
That's all the comic is.
Yep, definitely. And there's this secret phrase. I was trying to figure out how to type this in the North American server to see if maybe I could trigger the thing to go off, but I just couldn't figure it out. Unfortunately, copy paste from Edge into the game just doesn't work, so we'll have to see. Maybe once the PC version comes out, if I can do that. So aside from that, right after the show, they also had an emergency quest boost poll. We really don't have to worry about this, but basically just gave a bunch of rare drop and experience rates to the quest that was chosen. Then we have an announcement about the second iteration of the Pusuni comic anime, which will air on YouTube and Nico Nico Doga, starting on April 7th. And at the end of episodes, there will also be secret phrases that can be said for Kusoni Comic Memory number 3 now. And there will also be several campaigns running aside, like bonus key presents, Double Sage Crest, and even Kusoni Comic Memory 3 campaigns. And then aside from that, we also have Dawns ARKS, which is a new web manga, which will be releasing every Wednesday. And it's meant to be a slice of life story starring Hiroto and the Newman Sharos.
It's basically another Pusoni.
Essentially, yep.
Pretty much, because Pusoni is already a slice of life
Yep.
about characters playing PSO2.
Yep. And I don't know if you noticed this here or not, but one of the characters is wearing a horse head here.
Yeah. That's
great.
Hilarious. Yeah, he better be that trolley kind of guy that would wear a horse head. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be getting any Careless Whisperer jokes here or not out of this one. All right. So, aside from that, we also have an update. And actually, before that, I did also want to bring something up from what I did this week as well. Before we go into this here, I also checked out what released this week on the Japanese server, were the Divide quests. Did either of you have a chance?
Divide questo.
I'm.
What is that?
It's not on the webpage here. I'm just saying I checked it out on the Japanese server. It's
Okay.
What I think a lot of players are relating it to is it's sort of like a shortened version of Endless Quest, where you're able to choose what path you take for 5 stages, and then I think there's like 30 stages in total. I went up to stage 5, but it's definitely a lot of fun, what I've seen.
And I've heard it's really good for augments.
Yeah, it's
Or affixing.
yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. Of course, you got a new prize pool with that. The weapons that come from this are extremely grindy to get, though. You're going to be looking at like hundreds of runs to get one weapon from it, unfortunately. So I'm...
At least it's fun.
Yep, definitely. But I won't be going for the weapons. One thing I did want to relay as part of this, though, is because of this, we now have the full version of the 7th opening song map. And everybody was thinking when they were first hearing those lyrics that the lyrics were from the perspective of the Arks, but no, that's not the case. It's actually from the perspective of the Lumen Mechs, who's singing there. So that was just kind of a fun thing to kind of go to hear as you're in the final stage.
Interesting. So yeah, some new stuff got added into JP as well, making affixing a lot easier. From what I've heard, at least, because most of what I've been hearing about with current JP is from watching GM Custom stream it.
Yep, and actually the details of that are right here if you wanna read that here.
Special abilities from material items can be translated over to the base item. Like, that's the biggest one. So basically, you can have a good unit, but let's say you're a hero, you're a glass cannon, you're strong, but you have weak defense. Well, you can get automized levers, which in NA is automate. You just put that you just transfer that over to your unit. So you just have automate all the time. It's insane. And when it comes to these passes, the number of passes so process requires Meseta and special ability transfer passes. The number of passes you need are basically the amount of slots for the product. So basically, if you have an 8-slot unit, which is the best kind of unit to have, you're looking at 100 passes to just get that one ability onto that one ring ability onto the unit. So it's going to be costly if you have really good units, but it's extremely useful. But yeah, it takes the ability away from the ring, so it makes the ring useless. afterwards. So
Yep. Now, this, correct me if I'm wrong, but this also works for weapons and units as well, correct?
yes, it's weapons
Yes.
and
Okay.
units.
Yeah. So if you got like a set of abilities that you've been using for a long time, say you've got abilities that get you up to 300 attack power on whatever your main stat is, then you can now basically just transfer that over and then add whatever S-class abilities you need to after that.
Yeah.
It's extremely useful.
Yeah, so I can see myself just transferring things from my from whenever I upgrade my sword going forward.
You just need to grind those passes. That's it.
All right, I guess I'll continue on with this. So it looks like there's going to be a couple of updates that they're pushing out that they're already posted for April. We're going to have the Easter lobby in JP. Z is going to be doing the Easter COs on
Easter lobby in NA when.
Yeah, no, I hope we get that. That'd be pretty cool. The client order reward is the Wolval Edge. And then the Easter 2020 bingo front and back will be the Angel Wing mag, which you can see. It's that second to the last image right there. It's just like two wings floating in the air by your head.
That's cute.
There is going to be a new AC scratch come out. It's that middle picture right there. Brightstar, if you want to scroll down a little bit. It's the Courage Cute Look, and it contains unique school uniforms. So relive your high school days inside PSO.
What is it with a lot of Japanese media and high school settings?
It's probably just youthful nostalgia that they wish they could go back to before they got into the workforce. I mean, I can understand it. Keep scrolling. We have PSO2 early April update, which is the same thing, which is the Courage Cute Look, which is the AC scratch, a satchel bag outerwear, which I believe it's those two left pictures right there in the middle. Tact pose and egg race lobby action.
Egg race. I actually saw the video of the egg race lobby action. It's pretty funny. You just have the characters with the spoon trying to move forward.
Oh yeah.
It's the egg race. You have the egg and the spoon, and you try to race while making sure the egg stays on the spoon, doesn't fall off and break.
Yeah, and then it says a variety of accessories. If we scroll down, here's the biggest update, I think. Episode 6, Chapter 4, The Protectors of Earth.
Story
Yep,
update.
so spoilers!
Yep.
Yeah.
So there is going to be a story update. It says Shiva's grubby hands have finally made it to Earth. So we're going back to Earth.
Oh boy.
Rina, Aika, and other Earth characters will appear, and Petro will have his own side story.
And in the video, he gets hit multiple times by his pet.
Again and again and again.
Again and again.
It's the Red Drown this time, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
He always gets hit by his pets, but he just takes it.
It's great.
Yeah. So then after the update, we have Wild Easter 2020 seasonal emergency quest.
Man.
Acquire multi-slot equipment and factor type abilities. Material items from Divide quests can also drop. And then we have Lizeth Gador will appear along the way.
Oh, that's the new Train Gordian thing? Okay.
Yep, we saw him for the limited
Alright.
quest, and now he's actually in the Wild Easter quest as well now.
Nice.
Yeah,
Also, Wild Easter emergency quest, always play Eggman.
yes.
It's great.
So, and then it's pretty much the same information again with the Wild Easter 2020 seasonal emergency quest. A prefix named Descente Droll will appear at the
It's
end.
another variant of the Chrome Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then quest drop and special collection weapon Promessa Pagina.
All right, so now we got the collaboration here. This is pretty big, Zance. Why don't you?
It's a revival. Yep, it's Near Automata, or as I always jokingly call it, Near a Tomato. Yeah, it's a revival AC Scratch, so they're bringing it back. And yeah, you can get outfits based off of 2B and 9A, and also the Yorha mask.
I want those masks, the creepy smile mask, for sure.
I want that in NA. I want to just make a Yoko Taro cosplay.
Yeah, I've always just called it the Yoko Taro mask.
I know it's the Yorha mask, but it's the Yoko Taro mask. Come on. Late April, you got Sakura Wars collaboration, and the I can't read that.
Looks.
Shanshiki Kobu OR Mugen will appear in the lobby. Okay.
That's the robots.
Okay. And then in another late April update, Saijiro Kamiyama and Sakura Amamiya costumes. Okay. The sword and weapon camos, and then Sakura Wars lobby auctions. Okay. So it's just a collaboration with Sakura Wars. All right. I've never heard of Sakura Wars personally.
It's an older anime.
Okay.
I've heard of it, but I've never paid attention to it, to be honest.
It's back in I want to say the late 90s.
And outside of the collaboration is sci-fi punk, steampunk, and Arabian outfits. Okay. And new lobby actions, including partisan pose. Hey, they're doing poses for every single weapon. That's actually pretty interesting.
They've been working on those for a while.
Mighty base defense gets ultra hard. Oh boy, that's gonna be interesting because from what I've heard stories of, when Mighty Base Defense first came out, with the level cap being at 75, no one could do super hard.
Yeah, and this is the VR version, so this is not the one with just Darkers in it, or Fall Spawn as they're called in North America. This is the one where you're gonna have like all kinds of enemies. You're gonna have Harukatans showing up. You're gonna have mechs show up, and all kinds of variants.
And 15-star Nova series will drop. Okay. And new 13-star leg units. And weapon camos. Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
So they're introducing a new 15-star series there. It's probably not going to be as strong as, say, the Light series. Like, Light series is, while outdated at the point, because the novel series is now stronger, Light series is still really strong.
Yeah, Lightstream series?
Yeah, Lightstream. That's what I meant.
Alright, I'll take the next section here. Alright, so, PSO2 PlayStation Vita service is ending.
Hey, finally!
Yes, finally. I've been saying for years that this version has been holding back the game. Las Vegas could have been so much better if it had not been holding things back. So, Vita service will be ending on August 19th. They will be holding a point-back campaign that works sort of like a cashback rewards program. Essentially, half of the total AC and Star Gems used during certain time periods will be given back to you as Star Gems. Using a calculation of 5 AC to 1 Star Gem, to qualify you need to have logged into the PlayStation Vita version before March 24th. And you can get up to 1,000 Star Gems per period.
Which is March 21st is already passed.
So it's too late if you've never logged in before, but they're considering from the start of service with the PlayStation Vita, so going all the way back to 2013, basically.
Yeah.
So using 5,000 AC would convert to 2,500 AC, then divide by 5 to get you 500 Star Gems back. And then using 500 Star Gems would convert to 250 Star Gems. That would give you 250 Star Gems back. So, beyond that...
Yeah, August 19th. It's gonna PS Vita version is dead, so they're not going to be held back by the Vita version anymore.
Yeah, this is basically PSO2 having its low memory days now, and we saw exactly the same thing happen in Final Fantasy XIV as well, whereby low memory was holding things back when Heaven's Word came around. So Stormblood, they killed off the PlayStation 3 version, and things expanded. You got a lot of new stuff, a lot of new menus opening with other menus, and then same thing happened when they got rid of 32-bit processor support. And everybody was like, if we had to sacrifice 32-bit to get things that looked like this, everybody was happy to do it. So,
God, I am excited to see how PSO2 is going to look, and the new content that's going to be coming out once the Vita version is officially dead.
And they start to talk about that here in the PSO2 roadmap. So, May to June. Episode 6, Chapter 5. You get a new complex photon art for bullet bows. You get the 8th anniversary event, which usually includes a limited quest, 12-player limited quest, in fact, is what they say here. A new bonus quest, which is something we haven't seen since the Tagami one came out. And then you also get a new superior pet, and a superior pet is a pet that is basically a reversioning of an existing pet into a new form. So like how Torum became its arrow form, that's the same thing that's happening here. It's happening for Redren this time. And then in the
and it looks adorable.
Yep, it's like a little mini spellcaster. Like it looks like it came straight out of World of Final Fantasy, to be honest. So it's going to be interesting to see that running around now. And then for July, you get the final chapter of Episode 6. You get a new raid quest, a new raid boss, and then the summer event begins. August, PlayStation Vita service ends on August 19th, and you also get a new successor class and a new...
Which uses Gunblade.
Yep, we're finally getting an advanced Gunblade class.
Yes!
They've...
All the wall costume lookalikes that are going to happen after this, or Seifer, going to be amazing. I can't wait for it.
I just find it hilarious how Sega actually embraced the Gunblade meme.
Yep, and if you pay attention, some of those photon arts that it's using look similar to what we've got from like Hero, Phantom, and Etoile. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays.
Yep.
And then
we got a new spec quest or special quest.
Yeah, not really sure what that really means. Maybe it'll be something related to the raid, or I don't know. It's
also they in the video which was showing the new successor class, it specifically said in big red letters, not episode 7.
Yep. Instead of a new episode, they will be having a gigantic new update, and that's kind of where we need
graphical overhaul.
Say again?
Graphic overhaul,
perhaps, and that's really where we need to start talking about the future of PSO2. But before we do that, let's kind of just look here real quick. So this is the new bullet bow complex photon art. It basically sends a huge arrow from the sky landing on top of the enemy. Here's what the new superior pet looks like. So like I said, they look like they come out of World of Final Fantasy there.
Yeah, it's adorable.
It looks like a scholar.
Yep. And then here is the new successor class, which we do know are called Scion classes. In the West, there's a ring, the advanced attack ring, where the word Scion is actually used in the description of that ring. So we do know that that's the case here for North America. So they are likely coming. And then here is the new raid boss. And as we can see, it's got a bunch of eyes around it. And so this is where we really need to start to look towards the future of PSO2 and kind of what the next things that are going to be happening are. Now, Zance and Winsock, I kind of alluded to you what I was going to be saying here, and so I'm going to be kind of taking this. They really didn't have any input on this. This is kind of what I've been working on the side here.
Yep. Go on, you lore buff.
Indeed. So, Sega has, for a very, very long time, been dropping little hints about what is likely coming. And some of you may remember, before I started working on this podcast with the two of them, I put out sort of like a little let's look at episode 6 in what's coming video. And as part of that, I made several predictions. One of those, I made the prediction that Xiao was going to either die or become incapacitated in some way. I was correct about that. In the very first chapter, Xiao was knocked out, so we lost them for a bit there. But I also made a prediction about Mitra regarding her headdress, and that I believed that they were a Newman. I was wrong about that. Turned out their ears actually are not Newman ears. Granted, that just leaves me mystified about why they're even wearing a headdress like that, but I'm willing to admit that I was wrong on that one. But the point that I'm trying to make here is I'm now making another prediction about what is going on here, and the big headline that I've got here is basically everything that's been going on here in the Shiva ARKS War, or the Shiva Oracle War, whatever you want to call this thing. This is actually a war that's been spoken of in the series history before. If you think back to Phantasy Star End of the Millennium on the Sega Genesis or the Sega Mega Drive, during the opening scene of that game, it spoke of a war of two races of energy-based beings that fought against each other. One conquered the other. The victor became known as the Great Light. The loser became known as the Profound Darkness. Now, we know that there is a Profound Darkness in this game, but that's not actually what the Profound Darkness is in this context. The real answer, at least of what I believe is going on here, is the Oracle Shiva War is that very war, and the end of this conflict is going to lead to the creation of Algol to seal Shiva inside the Edge. And there's been...
Which means we might be revisiting the 3 planets of Algol system.
Potentially, but let's keep in mind, there is a very, very large gap between when all of this is taking place currently in Phantasy Star Online 2 and when those games take place. We're talking millions of years. So it's not going to be the Algol that we know. We're going to be talking about the time before Weiss helped to unify Palma and then set out to connect the races of the 3 planets together.
I agree with you on that, but I could also see Sega doing a little bit of retconning to make it work seamlessly with what the universe is now. To where it's just, we get to the Algol systems and they're already there kind of thing.
Maybe. But, it does make some sort of connection, I guess, because, if you played the first Phantasy Star game, you know about Meow. And he's the same race as Meow in PSO2.
Yep. And I thought that Meow was like a great-grandchild of Meow, in that you can actually see Muscat evolution happen in Phantasy Star End of the Millennium, in that one of Meow's litter says that they're able to open a bottle. Meow wasn't able to do that, and now you got Meow running around, and if you look carefully at him, he has a bottle of Ashline around his neck. And this is just an aside about Meow as well. There's actually a way that you can embarrass him in game, if you weren't aware of this. If you say the word cute, C-U-T-E, in chat, they'll actually become embarrassed for a brief moment. They're going to stop attacking for like 2 or 3 seconds there.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. I need to try that next time I randomly run into Meow like that.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I think it needs to be all lowercase, but it's very similar. This is a feature that they carried over from the Japanese version. The seasonal ones have different words that you need to use, but this is basically how you can kind of stop them in their tracks for a brief moment. You gotta. There's like a certain timing to it as well, but you'll know it when it happens. They're gonna say something unique. But there's a lot more in connection to this, and I'm actually going to open up a post that I made on the official PSO2 forums related to this. And here we actually have a lot of the contributing evidence that we've got, or rather that I've found kind of building to all this here. So,
oh hey, it's you.
So the Akashic record is a record of not just only the past but also the future. And Omega was a dream where certain facts may have been confused. We know that Lashik is around in the form of Valna currently. One ARKS does not have the power to defeat Shiva, as Sinan attempted to defeat her in the form of our other self, which, yeah, I'm keeping what that is secret for anybody that hasn't seen that yet. The ARKS are likely only going to be able to do what the Photoners did, but on a grander scale at 3 planets than 1 planet. And we've seen the same thing happen also in Phantasy Star Universe through the use of the confinement system, and how basically they were able to put the seed into subspace there. And basically Algol, the 3 planets of Algol, Palma, Dazorus, and Motavia, those hold the seal. Rycross was always an early warning system that came around every 1,000 years to remind the people that, hey, the seal's gonna be awakening in a few years, because this is on a 1,000-year cycle. Get ready. And then, once you take into account other games of the series, Phantasy Star 3 takes place, or rather, after that game takes place, there's a time slip that happens, depending upon who you married during that game. In one case, the Elisa 3 ends up near Earth, possibly after the ARKS arrive. We'll never know that one because Hitsugi's voice actor unfortunately had to leave, and so the other 2 episodes of the Earth adventure had to be put on hold. And then there's another one where the Elisa 3 arrives near Ragol, which helps with the Mutdispum seal that held that Dark Falls within. Let's see. There are also other subtle little hints, like the Dark Falls Aru entity that was at the start of Episode 4. It used an attack that was eerily similar to the Black Wave attack that Zio used against Alice in End of the Millennium. Of course, we just mentioned Sega is refusing to provide any detail on Episode 7 at this point, simply opting to say that there will be a gigantic update coming. I'm attributing that to something similar to what we might see in like an MMO getting a named expansion. We also know that there was a job posting for Phantasy Star Online 3 sometime back as well. And then, of course, just some of the creatures that we have currently sort of line up. The Lillipins, if they got some blue color on them, and in fact, we do see that in the casino, they could easily turn into Motavians. Possibly in Barbilifan form. The Draconians could evolve into Dazorians, and then as for the Parmians, it's a bit more complicated because you have to consider that whoever was there sort of knocked out the other races on the planets and became the dominant species. But could be that could be the Earthmen that were brought over from Earth, essentially, but not the Earthmen that came in Phantasy Star 2, if that's confusing enough for you. And then there are some other connections in place. For example, I was speculating that characters like Rephase that you find on Rycross might be Phantom class ARKS that just happened to hold a technique a bit too long and got stuck in that energy form that they turn into like that. just being a little comical.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying like that little black ball with the sphere going around, or the circle going around me.
Yep. And then several Luminix look similar to the dark creatures found on Ragol, and including the new enemy at the end of Divide Quest looks like a Chaos Sorcerer. There was also another one that looked like a Merlan or Arlan before. We already talked about Niao and how they may be related to Meow. And we also know that Gural is not part of the old...
So they're not a cat.
They're Muscat. Yep.
Yeah, but they're not a cat. Like, that's one thing I love about like doing the party chat with Meow. They will constantly say that they're not a cat.
And then we also know that Niao is, or rather, Geralt is not part of the Oracle universe, as for a sub-story that took place when Amelia and Vivienne arrived via a trip through subspace. And then, of course, I also listed some things here that might also disprove this theory. So, for instance, Idola Phantasy Star Saga features the presence of several prominent characters from PSO2. Looks like there's actually a new post down here that I'll have to check out later. Such as Seraphi, Kuna, Luther, and Matoy. They all show up in Idola Phantasy Star Saga. We also know that...
Yeah, but I like saying that the mobile games are not canon because I like not making mobile games canon. God damn it, why is the Kingdom Hearts mobile game canon?
It's kind of hard to do that with Phantasy Star Online 2S, at least, because a lot of the story of Void comes out of there. We also know that Vana and Mitra are actually based on deities mentioned in the Indian Vedic Sanskrit hymns. We've also seen other names from there mentioned before, such as Agni and Indra, as seen in the weaponry on Ragol. We also know that Shiva changes the mothership to look similar to the ruins on Ragol. Episode 6 is subtitled Stars, which refers to the store, or rather to the soul, rather than to the actual stars out in the heavens. And then the last kind of big one here, a Gunslash successor sign is on the way for the summer, and it wouldn't make sense for Sega to put development into it if the game was about to end in such a definitive way. Unless Algol gets created, but the Arks leave the area after, and that's kind of on the lines of what I was saying before, and that they may just seal Shiva inside there, because we know it's not the Arks that finish Shiva off in the edge. But the fact that when you go to face the profound darkness in the edge in End of the Millennium, the fact that its final form looks female in shape is very telling that this could actually be what's happening, that Shiva gets sealed inside there, and just the millions of years that pass turn her into that darkened form of the profound darkness.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the big theory that I'm running with. I'll be updating this post as new information comes out. And yeah, hopefully I'm right on this one, because this would be huge if this happens, because this would finally definitively connect Algol to elsewhere in the series. And really, if I had the opportunity to ask one question to a Sega developer that's working on this section of the game right now, that question would be, is Reiko Kodama involved? Because Reiko Kodama was basically the producer, director of the original Phantasy Star Algol series, aside from Phantasy Star Generations of Doom. They were the go-to person that helped to create those. So, if they said that they were involved, then that would be yet another point going towards this year, at least in my mind.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I've got on what I'm thinking we're going to be seeing in the future of PSO2. Did any of you have any other thoughts on this here?
Not that I can think of, because I don't pay attention to the story that much.
My thoughts would be kind of along the lines of what all these other games have been doing with the older systems getting end of life support on them, is possibly seeing a updated a system-wide update to the actual client, to where we get improved graphics, the underlying system better. I don't know if the current JP version has a 64-bit client or not.
I don't think it does.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, so I could see them doing nothing but 64-bit client, because there's hardly any 32-bit processors out there now in today's market. If you have bought a computer within the last 5 to 6 years, it's going to be 64-bit.
You're a computer guy, so you know about all that.
Yeah. I mean, even more than 5 to 6 years ago, it's still going to be more than likely 64-bit. I can see with the major update being what I think Zance kind of mentioned earlier was a graphics overhaul, new client for the game, possibly a named expansion like you were saying, Brightstar about, that might be the way they do it, is they bundle it all up into a named expansion instead of just having it in an episode, where it will be, instead of, Phantasy Star 2 Online, something else.
Yep.
Like how they've been doing with like Adola and everything else. I
Or
would
like
love
for the
to
first,
see that.
like for the first set, they could say PSO2 Oracle, I guess.
Yeah.
Get it?
And then they could go off to their own new series after that.
Like that's why they've been separating the chapters as they have. 1, 2, and 3 are together as Oracle. 4 is its own. 5 and 6 are together.
Hey, maybe episode 7 or this new one will be Argyle.
Yep.
Maybe.
It
don't
could
know.
very well be, and only time is going to tell on
Yeah.
this. Kind of how much setup they're going to be doing here. I mean, who knows if they're going to actually be able to seal Shiva away by the end of episode 6. That could actually be what episode 7 becomes, and we're just fighting yet another form of her in this upcoming fight.
Although, I wonder what the story would have been if they did flesh out episode 5 more.
Well, we do know at the very least that supposedly Orakio was going to be involved. Orakio being one of the main characters mentioned in Phantasy Star Generation 3 history. That was Orakio and Laya together 1,000 years prior helped to seal away the Dark Falls that was on the Elisa 3, hiding it within the basically containing it within the sword that was stuck in the water in the temple in the water.
Because wasn't episode 5 like the shortest amount of time between episodes?
I think so. Yeah, it was like a really short gap.
Yeah, because episode 5 sucked. It was awful.
I thought they had issues with
Hero.
Yep, the hero was
Yeah.
completely unbalanced. It was way too OP and made all the old classes.
Here's the thing. Yeah. So Hero launched when episode 5 did. Level cap was 80. At 80, Hero outclassed everyone. It wasn't even a fair competition. It just outclassed everyone. And so they raised the level cap for everyone except for Hero to 85. So Hero stayed at 80 while everyone was 85. Hero still outclassed everyone. And all the content was designed for Hero, specifically all the Buster quests for episode 5.
Well, maybe JP learned their lesson, because we haven't had any issues with balancing with Phantom or Etoile. Maybe this new... I want to take a guess. Let's take some guess. What do you think they're going to name the new class? Considering that we see the gun slash right now.
Lionheart. No, I'm joking.
No, Seed. No.
Seed.
That wouldn't work because we
I'm
already have a
waiting-
seed in the series.
Yeah.
So they kind of went French with the Etoile. Maybe they might go more Germanic name with the gun slash.
They
Maybe.
did that already with Phantom though, because that's kind of what all their photon arts are based on.
Yeah, true. Or were they going to do Americanized for gun slash, because we're known for our guns?
Maybe.
I think what would actually be proper for something like that. It's actually a really good question, and I hadn't thought of it yet.
Well, we'll see when they reveal the name.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we hear something soon on it, because I'm excited for it. Like, we were all joking about, I don't know about you, Prince, but me, Zance, and everybody in the Ship 1 NA Discord, we were all joking about gun slash successor class.
Yep.
And then, like, 2 months go by, and then, boom, we're like, get out of our heads. This is funny.
But yeah, it's because gun slash is a meme. It's a meme because every class can use it, and it's just the worst damage you could get out of any weapon.
Yep. You know, there is a word that hasn't been
Harmonize.
used yet, actually, that everybody's been calling us in-game, at least on the Japanese version, but has not actually become a class yet, and that is Guardian.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
So what weapons have we not seen? We haven't seen fists, wire lance,
Partisan.
partisan, launcher.
Twin daggers. Oh wait, no, twin daggers is as well.
Yeah, we haven't seen launcher.
Launcher, yeah.
Tact.
Or Harmonizer in North America.
Or a harmonizer, yeah. Believe wand is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, wand. A12 uses wand.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, A12 uses wand.
Double
Double
saber,
and
dual
twin
blades.
daggers.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, not twin daggers. Dual
Dual
blade.
blades.
So
Dual
we
blades.
haven't seen twin dagger yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phantom uses assault rifle,
Rod
and
and katana.
katana. Yeah.
What we really haven't seen yet in general is really a guncaster class.
Oh wait, that's also something we haven't seen. Bow.
Bow, yeah.
Yeah.
A guncaster class?
Oh yeah, like Guntucker in PSU.
I could see, because we already have twin machine guns with the hero.
Mhm.
Assault rifle with the
Phantom.
Phantom. All we got left is what? Launcher?
Yep.
We could see a launcher slash harmonizer or something.
Nah. We got gun like this new class. It's gun slash launcher or and something else. I don't know.
And honestly, like I think that they neglected the gun slash for too long, because that's a ranged and melee weapon all in one.
And it's an all class.
It's been in the game since episode 1. Any class can use it, but it's the worst choice to use for any class.
What I've seen by them, they neglected it because they could have done something to like boost it up.
Specifically for Ranger, they could have done something.
Yeah, or Hunter, like
Or
on,
Hunter,
the, on the melee side. But the gun slash, you get the aspect of ranged and melee, but they kind of neglected it. And now I'm kind of glad to see it's getting some love. Because I don't know about y'all, like I was a big Final Fantasy VII fan. I loved Final Fantasy VIII, and I loved the gun blades. Loved them. I loved the revolver one that Squall had. I didn't like the little Glock one that what's his name? Cypher had. Or Cipher is actually how it's spelled out, but it's supposed to be Cypher.
Cypher. One of the villains in the game.
Yeah, but
and that was also something I was extremely excited about in Final Fantasy 14 with Shadow.
We lost you there.
oh no, don't tell me his internet disconnected. I know there's been some issues with ISPs across the country due to everyone being at home.
Yeah, and that's probably something we're going to have to address here.
Yeah, it's back. Hi.
Hey, welcome back.
Okay,
Hey, I'm back.
I think we lost your webcam. There we go. We got your webcam back now.
Hey, I'm back. Okay. So yeah, I was saying I was really excited about Final Fantasy 14 with bringing Gunbreaker. So
Yeah, I haven't played 14 really since the Realm Reborn first came out.
highly recommended. Shadowbringers is fantastic.
I played up into, I think I did Heaven's Ward when it came out, and that was it. That was the last time I played.
Yeah, there's a lot of good content that you've missed out on, so I would recommend as well whenever you get a chance. There's usually like free login campaigns that you can use to, as long as you get the expansion upgrade, then you won't have to worry about paying like the monthly subscription at that point. Then.
Yeah, like I when Final Fantasy 14 was going on, I've been obsessed with a game called a Korean MMO, Arcade. That sandbox PvP, loved it.
Yep.
They just did not handle it correctly.
They ruined it.
Yep, they did not balance it correctly or anything. It just seemed like a money grab.
And speaking of Korean MMO, remember when Bless Online was like doubted as the big new MMO coming out?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's why I don't play Korean MMOs. They're money grabs. Complete money grabs. Because at least with PSO2, yeah, you can pay money for convenience stuff, but you don't need to. You can still play the game and be just as good at endgame as anyone else who put money into the game. With Korean MMOs, nah. If you want to be the best, you have to put money in.
Yep. Gotta get those loot boxes to get that stuff to upgrade your gear. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're getting a little bit off topic there with
Yeah.
that.
I will always rant about how bad Korean MMOs are. Especially Black Desert Online. I hate that game.
All right. Well, y'all got anything to add on to the future of PSO2?
I think I'm good at this point.
Yeah. Well, like I said about last week, I'm concerned about how the speed of content of releasing on NA is going to be. I hope it's not overwhelming to new players, but I also do want to get up to parity with JP.
I would be comfortable with PSO2 NA doing content update every 2 months to try to catch up.
Yeah.
Don't slam it in our face right off the bat, but every 2 months, increase the level cap, give people a lot more time to experience the different content coming out. Not just, okay, this month we got this. All right, next week we got this. Oh, in 2 weeks we got that. Like, no, like I would love to see it in 2 months where it is a gated progression.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I was saying last week, maybe seasonally add another episode. So for the summer we get episode 4. For the fall we get episode 5, and then for the winter episode 6.
Yeah, so in the fall everyone can see how terrible episode 5 is. Yay.
Oh, and something else we should probably mention here as well. The game's being rated across the world, so Europe and Australia have ratings.
Oh yeah, that.
So we're not saying anything, but it could be news for an EU launch. Hopefully.
Alongside the PC launch, hopefully.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If they do an EU launch, I would feel happy for all of our EU fans because I know a lot of them are having issues wanting to change their region over on their Xbox to play on the PS2 or the NA servers right now.
I actually have some friend who lives in the UK who would like to play PSO2, just doesn't have an Xbox. He doesn't like the latest console that he got or that he has is the PS2.
Ouch.
Yeah, he doesn't play on consoles. He plays on PC.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like my latest console, I just found it in my closet, was a PS3 until I got my Xbox this year.
Yeah, but I've always been a Nintendo guy. I've always gotten the latest Nintendo console.
I got that PS3 for free from my roommate.
Oh, nice.
He bought another one and he was gonna throw it away. And he was like, "Hey, you want this?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
This
And I used it for Netflix and in a Blu-ray player. That's all I used it for. I never played games on it.
Well, you could probably hack it now. Since it hasn't being supported anymore. Hey, do some homebrew on it.
I've been following the console wars ever since the 16-bit wars happened. This was the first time I was going to actually miss part of the conflict, in that the Xbox had only one game that had my interest up until PSO2 was announced, and that was Scalebound. And since Scalebound got canceled, I had no reason to get the Xbox One whatsoever. Lo and behold, PSO2 comes out in North America on the Xbox One first, and so I had to pick one up. So.
Yep, and also with the latest consoles, the PS5 and the Xbox One Series X, probably going to get the Series X because of the backwards compatibility. There's a lot of old Xbox games I would love to play again.
Yeah, that kind of brings up another topic here, but it's a little off topic, but still kind of related. The Xbox Series One X development information was apparently stolen. If you've read about that.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that, and they were doing a ransom of $100 million.
Wait, what was this? I was kind of not paying attention to that.
Series X information got stolen, and the people who stole it have a ransom of $100 million.
Yeah, they actually targeted AMD because they were going after AMD's because they got access to AMD's code for the Big Navi and the what was it called? RDNA
2
chip. Yeah, that the chipset. And AMD actually came out and said, what y'all have doesn't hurt us.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get that money.
No.
Yep.
And then the hacker that came out and said that he would release it for free if he doesn't get paid anyways.
Which pretty much is going to open up the door for any piracy you could imagine on the console, as well as homebrew.
Yep.
Which, yeah, that happens, but software updates will patch it out.
Unless it's something in firmware that can't be fixed.
Which is then what you do a revision, which is what the Switch did.
Yep, just change up the hardware.
Yep. And also, with the Series X being out, oh hey, 4K support. If you don't have an Xbox One X, you get the Series X. There you go. Now you have 4K for PSO2. Yay.
Yep.
True 4K, not the...
Yeah, true 4K, not scaled up.
Actually, no. The game itself is scaled up, not...
Yeah, the game itself is scaled up, but with the Xbox One X, it's scaled up 4K. So,
yeah.
All right.
It's going to be interesting.
Yep. Did anybody else have anything else they wanted to bring up today?
Nothing I can think of.
Nothing that I can think of either.
Alrighty, then that will bring us to the end of our 4th episode. On behalf of Winsock, Zance, and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Peace out.
Later.